Hello and an exceptionally warm welcome to you. Thanks for looking in today. Now, quickly about today's video. If you saw the previous video on the channel that came out last time, you'll know we had quite a bit of fun with this City of Stoke on Trent Wrenn locomotive. Now, it had been converted to 3 rail, but I put it back to 2 rail and got it running on the layout. Now, this item, a really interesting 5-pole Wrenn armature, and there it is in its packet, was in the box. So I think someone at some stage had thought about converting it. Just for comparison, here's a new old stock 3-pole armature. It's been used a little bit, but in good condition. So they are a straight swap. Now, we had a bit of a discussion in the comments about whether to do this conversion to this Loco. A few of you said it's running really nicely, perhaps leave it alone, but I've just come to the conclusion that because it was modified in the past and it's had work done on it, it's probably not the most original Loco, so I think I am going to put the 5-pole armature in today. Now, just for originality's sake, I thought I'd just show you this item. We won't run it today, but this is a W2227 City of Stoke on Trent. You can see it's got its original box, lovely triangle Wrenn logo there. And if we just open it up and have a quick look, I'm not going to take it out today. You can see there's a Hornby 00 coupling sellotape there. If you wanted to convert it, we've got paperwork, all very nice, and then sitting in this box, not run for some time, is a really nice Loco. And you can see on this one that we do we've got the lining on the cylinders, which is missing, and not such a misplaced lining on the front of the boiler. So that's for another day, just to show you quickly. So let's have a look at last week's Loco. And if I just put a bit of power on, it's hiding away in the big station. And I've got it coupled to a nice rake of Wrenn coaches today. So we'll just watch them go round. And perhaps you can see, now this does flicker. I still haven't worked out how to set my camera to stop the flicker, but it's drawing about 0.38, 0.37, 0.36 there of an amp. So the engine is running really nicely. And let's just watch it creep around the layout. Does look good, doesn't it? We've got those Wrenn Pullman coaches behind it. And it's running super smooth and quiet with its 3-pole armature. But we are going to change that out and just have a little bit of a comparison. If I slow it down just here, there we go, to a halt. I'm going to try for a nice slow start. So I'm feeding in the power, but it just sort of doesn't move off very smoothly. So I'll try again on this curve. So we're down no power. I'm just going to put some in. Yeah, you can get quite a nice pull away. So let's just bring it into view here. You can see the lining missing from the cylinders there. But it does look good with its Pullman coaches. But I think it'll be great to see how this performs with the upgraded armature. Now I'm just going to let it run round once more. So off we go. Yeah, I'd like a smoother pull away, if possible. Now, since the last video, just to try it out, I have remagnetized the Loco. It made no difference really to the running or the current consumption, so the magnet was indeed okay. But I think this is probably running as well as ever it can with its original 3-pole armature. Okay, we'll just watch it come round once more, and then we'll move over to the workbench, and I'll show you how this armature will come out of the Loco. Okay, so I've just got the Loco off the layout and we're going to start stripping it down. Now there is quite a bit of rain outside, so I hope that's not coming through too loudly on the video. And I can also hear some men out there. I think they're going to dig up the water main again. We've had a few leaks, so see what happens. Now I've removed the retaining screw there, and I'm just going to ease the chassis out, and then we'll put the body to one side just there. Now I've got a little pot there because we're going to try and get things like brushes out carefully, so I'm just removing this brush retainer, and there will be a spring behind that. So spring removed. Let's see if the brush seems a bit reluctant to come out there. Let's just try the other one. Okay, another brush spring. Right, well, one brush has come out. We're just struggling slightly with the other. I'll just give it a tap. There, that's fetched it out. Okay, so you might see I've got my remagnetizer there ready for when we put it back together, because I'm going to have to take the magnet off, and when you do that you lose quite a bit of the magnetism. So I'll just take the magnet out. There we go. And we can remagnetize that when it's all put back together. So you can see the armature is spinning quite nicely in there. We need to get that out. Now there is a ball bearing at the end of each end of the armature, I should say, so we don't really want to lose those, but sometimes they get quite stuck in the bearing, so you just have to be careful and sort of look and see whether it's actually in there or not. I'm pretty sure these will be in there. Okay, so I'm just unscrewing this top bearing. So I'll bring this into view. Now I think I can see something in the bottom there. It's not going to tap out, so I might try and get that out in a little while with a magnet. So we'll come back to that because it's incredibly small and I don't want to lose it. So right now we'll see about removing the armature. So it's free of the top bearing, and I think what's happened is it's come out of the bottom one. Now you don't really want it to come out of the bottom one first, so I'm going to do my best to get it back into the bottom bearing, because there's only just enough room to swing it out of the frame. So once I've got it sort of at that angle, I should be able to just gently, there we go, get that out, lift it out. You can see, look, there's a little bit of lubricant on the bottom of the armature. It looks in good shape really, doesn't it? And yet again, there will be a small ball bearing in that bottom bearing. So I'm just going to pause the camera now, and with a miniature magnet or something, see whether I can get those two bearings out just to show you. Okay, well, just a brief update on the little bearings. Now I've cleaned the top and the bottom bearing, and I hope you can just see glinting up there, the ball bearing is in there, but it's stuck in there, and I'm not going to try and get it out. It's definitely in there, and it's definitely in the bottom as well, so they're in there nicely. I think we can go ahead and see whether we can fit this 5-pole armature. So I'm just going to undo this now, so it's quite secure. The staple's gone a bit rusty. I don't know whether you can see that, the original staple. So let's get the armature out and take a quick look at it. So nice and clean, sort of a green insulation sprayed on there. Looks good. I think I'm just going to take, while I've got it out, a resistance reading, because I've never taken a resistance reading on a 5-pole Wrenn armature before. So let's just get a meter, and what we'll do is perhaps just see what the resistance was or is on the one I've just removed, the 3-pole one. So let's just see if I can get my probes on that. So let's have a look. Wrong setting. Okay. So I've got 8.6, 8.7. Let's just turn it to the next one. 8.7, and then we might as well do the final one. So that 3-pole armature was measuring about 8.7 across the poles. So let's just have a look at this one. So I'm sure it'll be a bit different. So that's 6, and we'll just do a couple more. 6 again, and we'll just check there isn't a, I'm sure there won't be, but go to the earth. No, well, I think that armature's fine. So I'm just going to do a complete reversal of what you saw with the disassembly, and we'll come back when I'm remagnetizing it and take a look at how it's all looking assembled. Okay, well, maybe you can see now we've got the armature installed quite nicely, brushes back in, one slight drama with an escape brush spring, but luckily I found it. So I'm just going to put the into the magnetizer and give it one blast, and then move it back again, give it another blast. So I've just got my compass here. I'm happy with the orientation of the remagnetizing. So this chassis is now ready for testing, so quite excited about this. I'm just going to shove the body on and we'll get back to the railway and see how it performs. Okay everyone, this is the moment of truth. Let's feed in the power and see what we've got. Wow, I can instantly see that was quite a smooth take up there, and it is running nicely. Just slows down around that corner, they all do. Gets going again, and then we're going through the big station at the back of the layout. So let's try a slow pass. I'm just going to turn the power down a bit here now, and there's absolutely no shadow of a doubt that this is very much more drivable with the 5-pole. Now we've got some points and crossings, but let's just see if we can creep along at this sort of speed. Wow, it really is very nice. So I'm just going to put a little more speed on now so we can enjoy the sound of the coaches and the Loco running around the track. But it certainly is a great armature. You can see why a few people would opt for the 5-pole version. It does make it very much more a scale runner. And if I just tempt fate but bring it to a stop on this corner, there we are, and we've got 6 Pullman coaches, and let's just move away gently. And then ease it down and try another nice move away here. I mean, I think this is going to run in quite well. Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to have a bit of fun running this round the main lines now. I've quite enjoyed carrying out this modification. I think I'm going to leave the 5-pole in here for a little while. As far as I know, it's the only one I have. It would be great to get at least one more, but I did have a look, and they do seem to be fearsomely expensive if they ever come up for sale. So I just consider myself lucky to have had this one in with this Loco. But right now I'm going to leave you with the improved Wrenn City of Stoke on Trent, running its 5-pole armature and pulling these quite delightful Pullman cars. And until the next video, I'll say goodbye.